It's time for our Kitsap County housing market update. We'll take a look at some of the local statistics, see where things have been, and do our best to make an educated guess of where things might be going in the future. If you're looking to buy or sell a home here in the Kitsap or surrounding areas, my name is Nolan Reynolds and I'm a licensed real estate agent with Windermere Real Estate in Silverdale. I would love the opportunity to help you accomplish your home buying or home selling goals. Reach out to me anytime if you have any questions or if you'd like to schedule a free consultation. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Starting here with our average sales price, and this is in Kitsap County only. And want to make note that I have residential selected for this one, leaving out condos, vacant land, farms, ranches, manufactured. This is just single family homes in Kitsap County. And something to take note of here, as you can see, our highs and our lows, they're staying really steady. The lows have been moving up slowly over the last 5 years. This is a 5-year chart. And would like to make note that we see our lows and highs very predictably seasonally. Winter is when we'll see our lows, and then summer is when we will see our highs. So as we see January, February 2021, lows 512,000, and then over here 2021 jumped up quite a bit, 586, 596, just under 6. And then we dipped down some here, 2023 to 544, and then this is where our lows have been starting to slowly trend up. 2024 573, and then 2025 613, and we know we're coming into those months. Now we're looking at about 642. That was in December, 643 in January, and then our highs have been staying relatively similar since 2023, 2024, 2025, all staying really steady and really predictable is what we've seen for the last number of years here. Things just really not moving a whole bunch either direction and really following similar patterns over these last 5 years, as you can see. So if we were to make a prediction into the future, very likely, very probable that as we pass January, February and head into March, we can see March very commonly is where we'll start to see things tick up. And we know when we come into those months, it's very likely that we're going to see the average sales price go up as we work our way into the summer, and then we'll keep an eye and see where our high is in that summer. My prediction, my guess is that it's probably going to be pretty similar to what we've seen here these last 3 or 4 years. So you could almost say that we're in a relatively balanced market, which makes a case that it's kind of a good time to buy, kind of a good time to sell, depends on what your plans are. And so I would say that if you're looking to buy a home right now, I would suggest that you plan to own that home for, I would say really comfortably, at least 7 years. To make sure that you give yourself time to build equity in it. And if you're considering whether this is a good time to sell, I would say yes it is. I don't think that you're going to miss out on huge gains here in the next couple of years. Of course, anything could happen. I could eat my words, that's possible, but I think that we stay pretty steady. And so if you're set on selling and you're just waiting for the best time, I would say that this coming spring, summer is probably a really good time for you to take advantage of a good purchase that you made a number of years ago and cash in on your equity. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other statistics. And again, we see this very commonly, the winter and summer jumps and falls. This is the total amount of single family homes for sale in Kitsap County. And we can see over here, January 2026, as we just finished up, there were 422 active single family homes for sale in Kitsap County. And the high this past summer was up around 789. We can see that that was the highest high that we've seen in the last 5 years. Previous to that, 656, 573, 685. But I just want to zoom out here on these total amount of homes for sale, seeing if we are starting to see an increase in supply. That tells us that prices may be coming down, but as we look at the last 20 years, that gives us some good perspective on the total amount of supply that we're seeing right now. As we see back in 2015, over 1,000 total active, 2014, 1,500, we work our way back, 2011, 1,900. So this 789 that we saw this past summer is good. We need to see more supply, but we still are relatively low if you look at the big picture. Here's a look at our average days on market, the amount of days that the home is on the market before it receives an offer. And this will flip-flop from what we see with the total amount of homes for sale or sales price. We will see that there will be a higher average days on market in the winter and a lower average days on market in the summer. Most recently here, January 2026, we saw 47 average days on market compared to the summer where it was about 25 days. And again, these highs and lows been staying pretty similar, so somewhere between 20 and 50 days depending on the time of year. But if we take a look back here, summer of 2022 and summer of 2021, we were seeing very low 10, 12, 11 days on market. That's a very short amount of time on market. Homes are selling very fast. So it's better to see a little bit longer days on market. If you're a buyer, it means things are a little more balanced. You don't have to be quite so frantic and rushing to make sure that your offer gets in time. So it's probably healthy that we have somewhere between this 20 and 50. This is probably a nice healthy place to live for the market to be relatively balanced and not leaning too much in favor of the sellers. And this is an interesting one to look at for sellers if you're selling your home currently. This is showings to pending. So the total amount of showings that you receive before you receive an offer. An interesting number to look at to give us some reference of whether it might be time for a price drop or not. So just most recently we saw 14, average of 14 showings before the seller received an offer. And we've seen down as low as about 10 recently, and we've been hovering, looks like, between that 10 to 15 range here for a number of years. So that gives you some good perspective. If you've maybe only had 2 or 3 showings and you're already feeling a little bit nervous that you didn't get an offer, this is a good one to look at. On average, you'd probably see somewhere between 10 and 15. And I do have all of these statistics on my website, Showcasing Kitsap with Nolan. If you scroll down here on the homepage, you'll see I have each Northwest MLS area here in Kitsap. So if you're looking at Port Orchard, for instance, you can see this is area 143 in the Northwest MLS. That's how we refer to it. And you can go ahead and see these averages here for that specific area if you'd like. And then here's a quick look at interest rates. If you're not up to date, looking at right around 6% for the 30-year, which is lower. It's been dropping some, so that's good to see that interest rates are slowly trending down. This is looking at the last 3 years. And that concludes this edition of the Kitsap County Housing Market Update. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you on the next one.